Okay, so thanks for coming to watch this. First of all, I just want to say this up front. Like, this is all about trying to learn. I'm just trying to point out some things that I see that I think that we need to do better. So, I don't want you guys to take this like I'm picking on you, or I don't want you to feel like I'm pointing out things that you already know. It's really important that we see what we're doing, and sometimes you have to watch yourself and sometimes you have to watch other people, and it's really good to just learn from the situations that we see ourselves in. So please watch this with an open mind, understand that this is all about learning, and understand that what I'm trying to do is just let you know what I'm seeing, and hopefully what you will see as we go forward with this thing. So watch yourself, think about how you should do things differently, and hopefully we get better by doing
They
that.
have a right-handed jumper, so the ball is almost for sure going to come to this side of the court. So we should be aware of that and make sure we figure out that where we're aligning. I'd like this player to be a little bit closer. The referees usually like a line of sight here, so have this player be as close as you can be before the referee backs you off. This player should be up just a little bit. They should at least be in shoulder to shoulder here. He's a step behind, and that's gonna cause a problem here in just a second. So we should be up to the line so that when the ball goes up, we can be shoulder to shoulder and we can both be moving together. When the ball goes up, I'd like to see this player moving in front. I'd like to see this player step in front here as well. It's kind of a hard tap for a right-handed player, but he should still be active instead of standing here like a statue. So when the ball goes up here, he's standing, he's moving. And coincidentally, that's where the ball is about to go, right? So we've got the ball coming this direction. He's already on the move, and this player is trying to recover. So if we had already been on the move and been moving there, we're in a much better position to make a play on the ball. Instead, we're lunging out of position. See us lunging out of position, and then the other team is going to have a 2-on-1 fast break. Terrible shot, but still just not a very good position. Okay, so first of all, we should be picking up just outside of the high school 3 point line, maybe right around the NBA 3 point line. So that's the first thing. We should be picking the ball way up here. We're way too far back here. I understand that this is a young guy playing in his varsity basketball game, but we should be up in a position to at least put pressure on the ball here. This player is just a little bit too low. This is a really easy pass here. I like his positioning with his right foot on top. But if he was just out just a little bit, if his foot position was here so that his hand position could be here, we want a line between the ball and the center of his chest. Our hand should be in that position. So we want our hand out in this just to make this a tough pass. I like this position, eyes on the ball. I like this position, eyes on the ball. I mean, when I say I like this position, I don't mean the standing straight up like a statue. I mean, I like where he's at. He's in a position to help if he drives left. So he's in a good position. He's at least in somewhat of an athletic position, ready to help. Uh, Guarding the ball, he's in an athletic position. And this guy guarding the cutter is in a somewhat athletic position, but I especially like the fact that there's some physical contact here. So we've moved up just a little bit here, which I like. He's in position to help. He's in a help position. He's in a help position. He's again in that same position. Now on the move, if you watch that, this guy starts moving this direction and he is still standing. And that's just from standing flat-footed. Standing straight up like that doesn't put you in a position to help there, so or to get into position there. I like this help position. I like this help position. He should be a half a step closer so that he can be in a dig position to reach in and knock that ball away. But as we'll see, he's going to drive right by and this guy does nothing to stop the ball. So he's so far away, he can't make a dig on this, and he should be in a position to dig on the ball. He's in a help position, needs to react maybe a little bit quicker. I would like to see this help defender get up a little bit higher here, but overall, I like the position. I like the eyes here, and we're at the basket. So this is a pretty good position here, ready to be active here, because as this guy goes to help, he is the guy that's going to have to help down on this dump down pass. We're just too far under the basket here. Good shot, layup. Again, I'm not going to harp on this too much. This is the next play. This guy is in the exact same position. He's in the exact same position physically. He's not down in a athletic stance. He's not ready to move. He's just standing tall. Again, help position. I like the fact that it looks like they're touching there. He is kind of a little bit too low. Again, I'd like him just a little bit higher with his hand, right? With his hand in front of that guy's chest to make it hard to catch there. That should be a little bit tougher play there. And again, this guy should be, by the time he gets this deep, this player should be touching this player. We should already have an arm bar on there. Looks almost exactly like the last play. They're in the exact same position. We've got a cutter, eyes on the ball. He's maybe a little bit lower than he was last position, but basically we're in the exact same position that we were in the last play. Run forward here, attacking, and this is where we're just slow to react. Right now, when this guy gets going downhill, he should be moving to dig. He should be moving to get in front. He should be moving up to help on the ball. We should all be moving right now, but instead we're all hands on knees, following, standing, watching. And again, I'm not trying to harp on anybody. I'm not trying to harp on this guy's body position. I'm not trying to harp on this guy's. This is a young player playing in a varsity basketball game, and doing the best that he can. But we need to make sure that we see where we should be going here. Attacking the basket. There's no help. There's no help. There's no help. I like that he gets a stop here and doesn't get a good shot here. So already this player should be covering. He should have been in a dig position and then recovering so that this pass is not just a straight line, easy pass. I kind of like the fact that this player is at least in position that a lazy pass here will be something that he can pick off. He's in help position. He's on the line of the ball, and he's also in help position on the line of the ball. So it was a good recovery. But again, because this guy was just a step behind, this is going to be just a straight line left-handed drive. Let me go back to it. So if he's already on the move here with his hand here, this is a much tougher pass. And he's not going to be able to get downhill so quickly. So right now in this position right here, this left-handed dribble, there's almost nothing stopping that. He could be in a little bit better of a dig position here because you've got to see this coming. Here comes the ball. Got to be ready to help. This first dribble should be a steal. This first dribble, when this guy puts the ball on the floor with his left hand, this player should be right there in that dig position so the ball never comes back to him. But instead, he's moving this direction. This guy is not really in very good help position, and he, again, is just a little bit too low. I think once we've all collapsed and they get this wide open look, it's not the worst outcome. At least we didn't give up a layup, but I think that kid should have shot a layup there. Okay, very next possession, we've got a different guy guarding the ball handler. So again, I'd like to see us meet him just a little bit higher there. In good position, looks like he's looking to see screen coming. I would again like him just to be hand in front, just have his hand up. Looks like he's cutting this direction. This guy doesn't have any idea where the ball is, and I'm not sure if these two guys are confused about who they should be guarding or what's going on here, but there's nobody guarding this man, and they're about to run into each other, it looks like. So let's run this. Okay. So now sees the ball. Looks like hopefully he's stepping up to this help position. This player is just in an inactive position. there's about 6 feet between his feet and his feet, where he's going out filling the corner, and this player is just really kind of in no man's land. Gets bumped into. Now he's 10 feet away. I like the help there. Looks like we've got a little bit of an on ball. This kid is at least being active here. We just have that same straight up posture here. All right, so on this catch, again, like this player is just too far behind. He's just trailing too far. If he was in a dig position, that would be one thing, but he's not. He's just jogging after this player. I like this guy looks like he's moving into this position to help. All right. So we've got put a body on. Hopefully we're going to see a block out right here. Sort of, not really. And just get up a good look. All right, I don't love giving up this wide open walk in 3. I think we should be a little bit closer and have a hand up here, but we're in good help position. This guy actually looks like he's on the move here and in pretty good position as far as line of ball where his hands should be. He's in an athletic position. Maybe by now he should be moving to jam this cutter. He should be moving to put a body on this cutter, but we're in okay position. This guy's in, I like that he's in sort of a dig help position. I don't know that this guy's a threat right here, so he's in a pretty good position, and we're in perfect help position there as long as we're quick to move. Shot goes up. I see one block out. I see he's at least got an eye on here. I'm hoping he's going to come around and put a body on. Yes. Okay, good block out. Put a body on. I like that. This player, I wouldn't mind a little bump there, but at least he's coming to the basket. It doesn't look like this guy's rebounding, so look at there. Good rebound there. Now look, now we've got our young guy sprinting the floor. This guy is already out ahead, and he's running hard. And then there's just no excuse for this. There's no excuse for the ball passing somebody who should be sprinting. It's like 3 minutes into the game. This should be a sprint here. He's sprinting. He's, I would say, at least running. This is just a jog, and this is just not acceptable. Tough pass. At least he actually saw the ball. Overall, not too bad, but I'd like to see us actually get up the floor a little bit there. Okay, this is the very next possession. Like to see again. I'm just reiterating. I'm not trying to harp on anybody. Just like to see us pick up here. We should have physical contact by the time he gets to that NBA-ish three-point line. I like this. The physical position of it, but I would like to see him in a more athletic position, be down. You're going to see my wonderful art skills here. I would like this to be his right foot and his left foot behind with his right hand out in front, and this his trail left hand. So I'd like to see this position where his hand is out in the passing lane and his right foot is just moved up just a little bit. I like this physical contact. I like this physical contact. Looks like he's in really good defensive position and actually almost in an athletic position. Looks good so far. Here we go. Okay. So I really like he maybe got a half a second late head start on this. Late head start doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Got a little bit of a late start there, but he's on the move. I love this position because if this is a dribble handoff, what we would like to see is this player go in between. I haven't watched this yet. I'm hoping for that. By now, as the ball's moving away, I'd like to see this player just moving, because right now, again, I saw it live. I haven't watched the video of this yet. I'm assuming they're going dribble handoff here. This player should be moving into help position. This player should be ready to step up. And hopefully this player is going to shoot the gap here. So let's see what happens here. Okay, didn't shoot the gap, but I'll take this. He avoided the avoided the brush screen. So right now, this player is going to attack left-handed. We're moving to get into help position. I don't know that he's going to be able to recover in time, but right now he should be stepping up just a little bit. He should be full on moving into dig position, and this player should at least see the ball. One thing that we would want to happen is help here, dig here, and this guy should be getting in front of this so that the dump down pass doesn't happen. He doesn't have any idea where the ball is right now, but as the ball comes, I'd like to see him sneak to the inside of that post player. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so he didn't really get downhill and attack, but as we see, because he's just slow to start, he's not going to get to this position that we would want him in, where he could pop out and knock that pass away. So I like the recovery. He's gotten to stop the drive. I don't know that he really stopped the drive, but the player stopped driving, so that's good. So he's in a pretty good position. Now he should be just a little bit higher and a little bit deeper into the paint. That's where his feet should be. And let's see what happens here. Okay, so now this is a really dangerous position right here. So ideally what we would like is when this dribble handoff comes, that this player is in a position to make a play on the ball. But okay, it's not the end of the world, right? Right now, I'm hoping that if this guy takes a right-hand dribble, and I don't know what's going to happen, that this player is going to meet him in that gap. And this player is going to be in a position to dig on the ball. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, worst case scenario. Okay, so worst case scenario just occurred. So we basically set a screen, and that is due to this player just not being in any position to make something happen here. So basically our defender screened our defender, and that's the last thing that you want to happen here. So I would have liked to have seen us shoot that gap there and at least been in position to stop the ball. He's just slow to react, and he should be coming to help. And then when that happens, because they should just dump down, this player should be standing right there ready to steal that ball. So really rough, just a really rough occurrence here. And then almost get dunked on. Just a rough possession right there. Okay, so I'd like to see a high pickup here. This player is way out of position. He should already be standing at least heels to the 3-point line. I'm hoping he sees the ball. Sees the ball, should be coming and making. Right now, as this cutter's coming, we should have physical contact. We should be making contact here. Looks like we're playing with our armband here. Let's see what happens here. Yep. Okay. So we've got just a straight up no help, no nothing posture, no help position. We should be down in an athletic position, ready to dig that. So just to knock that pass away. I really like what this young man did here. Let's see where he came from. So he's guarding the man in the corner, and as the ball goes away. So this is actually a perfect reaction. This is actually a really good reaction here. So as he sees the balls going away, he's jumping down to make contact with this guy, because he should be going to help. He should be digging, and he should be on the ball. Let's see what happens here. The right-hand drive. Not really a whole lot we could have done here. Because the cutter is in the way. He's at least making physical contact. We see that. Okay, so this is the very next possession, and I see a couple adjustments here. See a little adjustment here. We're at least in an athletic position. Again, I would like him, and I know this seems like picking nits, but I'd like to see him like 1 foot higher. just 1 foot higher. I like that his right foot's on the top, so that's good. And just to have that hand out in that position. And right now, is if this guy decides to take a right-handed dribble, if he decides to take a right-handed dribble, he's just quick to boop, jump into dig position. So ideally, we would be here and pushing him to his left hand, right? We would be pushing him to his left hand, but I like the body position here. He clearly sees the ball. He's making physical contact, which I love, and he sees the ball. If this guy turns and comes left, he should be quick to be in that help dig position. And then I assume our fifth defender is way over here in the corner, which I would actually like him somewhere in this area here. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so it's a left-handed dribble. I get this. This guy is cut. This guy's moving. He's following the cutter. So but I like the fact that I think he can see ball, and I think he can see man. That's an awesome position to be in. He's backpedaling. I would like to see shoulder to chest contact here, just a little bit of contact here. This guy, again, I think he should have been starting there, and as he's coming left, should have been moving into this position. But this, just as a snapshot, this is not the worst position to be in. I'd like to see his right hand, his left hand out here ready to get into this passing lane. But again, help position. Again, this guy, I like he's in a much more athletic position. And now, as soon as we realize he's coming left, he should be moving into help recovery position. So let's see what happens here. Okay, now lost our man a little bit here. We're staying connected. This guy did make that move. He's coming toward the ball a little bit, which is nice. So right now he's just kicked this out. So if he goes hard over the top, because he's trailing behind, if he were here, this would be a tougher pass, and he might be able to follow over or between. But right now, I think that this is kind of a dangerous position, and he should just be sprinting to the middle of the floor to cut off. So I'm, again, not really sure what happens here, but let's take a look. All right, actually, he made a good recovery. He's going to get into position here, I think. Right now, I would like to see him turning his chest to the ball. I like this position. I think he should be 6 inches, a foot, maybe 2 feet closer. And we're just following the cutter there. So we'll see. I like that he's on the move here. He's moving into, I assume, or I hope, a help position there. This guy's coming to either receive a dribble handoff or maybe a front cut. So get that right hand, get moving, just to turn his body position just a little bit to get that right hand out there. But overall, pretty good position. I love the idea here. This guy looks like he's reacting and is maybe going to try to slow the ball down. I'm hoping that he continues right here through that gap and tries to cut him off. He might be half a step behind already, but let's see what happens here. Yeah, just that little hop in the wrong direction. He's hopping this direction when he should have just been coming straight to where he's coming. So if we watch that in full speed, he just kind of checks up a little bit. Like he's afraid he's going to run into this guy, or this guy's going to step out and screen him. And we actually want that contact. If you're moving and the screener leans or intentionally shoulders you as you're running by, there's a good chance you're going to get that call there. But basically, we just stopped ourselves, and now we put this guy in a bad position. We just watched this, so what's about to happen? He, right now, as we see the action moving this direction, we see the action moving this way. He should slam on the brakes. He should stop right where he's at so that as the drive happens here, this kid, when he relocates, you're going to be standing right in a perfect position to defend this play. So instead, he's guarding somebody in the corner. This guy has no idea that guy's even alive. So this position, guarding this guy out here, is just a bad position. If he were standing right here still, this guy would not be wide open. So let's take a look at that. We'll run this forward. And that was actually a pretty tough pass. I don't know that we would have been able to stop that, but at least we would have been in a position to make something happen there. That was actually a really good basketball play by them. But we need to try to cut that off here and be in a help position there. Overall, not terrible. At least it seems like people are starting to move a little bit and get to where they should be.